video, I'm going to take you through 10 steps to get you started on your teacher business today. Hello and welcome to my channel. I am the TPT Sellers Guide. My name is Suzanne, and this is the best place to take you from teacher to teacherpreneur. Knowing that other educators are also excited about implementing my resources in their classrooms and that other students are also benefiting from these resources that I'm creating is a wonderful feeling. If you are a teacher who is looking to increase your monthly income, then you are in the right place. I only wish that there were a step-by-step guide that I could have used when I first started. I made several mistakes along the way, and I want to help you jump over those hurdles so that you can go farther, faster. The links that I mention in this video will be put in the description box below. There is a free PDF guide included with this video that I recommend that you download so that you can get even more information and more details about each individual step. Here we go. Step 1 is to choose your business name, and you want to be intentional about it. What sets you apart from other teachers? Do other teachers come to you for a specific resource or something that you've created or are using in your classroom? Or is there one part of teaching that you love more than everything else? Maybe you're really good at bulletin boards. Maybe you create centers activities. Whatever it is, you want to think about what it is that makes you, you, and that's what's going to help you to create your business name. What are some characteristics that describe you, that describe your teaching style, and use that to help you in creating a name? So brainstorm some names, and then you need to check to see if they're available. So a good place to start would be on teacherspayteachers.com, and this is where you want to see if someone else already has a shop with that name. If not, the next place you want to go is you could check to see if there is a domain available for your name, and you can go to godaddy.com to check and see if the domain is available or not. And then the next place you would want to check would be Gmail, because you're going to need to create a Gmail account. That's one of the first steps in this guide. So definitely go to gmail.com and try to create a Gmail using the name that you would like to use for your business. So moving on to step 2, which is Gmail, setting up a Gmail account with your new business name. So now that your name is chosen, go ahead and set up an email account. And this is going to be your first form of contact with your future customers. Of course, this email should be strictly for your business. You want to keep it separate from your personal account, and also if you already have a school account. And this is the email address that you will use to set up your shop. Okay, so we're moving on to step number 3, settling on a niche and defining the ideal target buyer for you. So this is going to be a longer, more involved step, settling on a niche. If you skip this step, you're gonna have to go back to it. It's really important to settle on a niche. What is a niche? A niche is a specialized area that you are going to target. And so you really wanna start out narrow, because if you start out too broad and try to attract too many, then you'll end up with none. So you wanna make sure that you start by defining a target buyer and then come up with your niche. So you want to think about who would be the perfect ideal target buyer. What type of teacher? So start with who you are. Let's say you are a pre-K teacher and you want to think about what you create that sets you apart and what you have to offer from your business. So let's say you make really amazing centers activities for your students and all the other teachers come and ask you about those centers activities. Then that's a good place to start. So you want to start off by thinking about other buyers that would be interested in your center's activities. Does it have to be narrowed in just to pre-K teachers? No. Maybe it could expand to preschool and kindergarten. Maybe if you want to niche it down even more, maybe they are all science related, or they're all phonetically related or alphabet related. It can be something that is going to attract one specific consumer. And then you want to think about multiple products that could fit into that niche. Yes, you will want to expand the niche as you grow, but to start off, it's really important to start narrow. I made the mistake of starting out way too broad, and I lost a lot of time. So this is a really good tip to help you to go farther, faster, by settling on a niche. The next thing you want to do is define your target consumer. And that target consumer is the person that is going to stop at your shop and find everything that they need. On my Teachers Pay Teachers shop, I have a workbook available. It's Getting Started on Teachers Pay Teachers Guide workbook that has actionable steps that can help you to make sure that you're setting up your business the right way. And here's step 3. It will help you and guide you to settling on your niche and defining your target buyer. Step 4 is designing your brand. Okay, so you want to think about your brand and you want to choose a color scheme that goes with your style and the message that you would like to send out to your target buyers. Think about the different types of styles that you see. Maybe take a look on Teachers Pay Teachers and you're going to see all different types of businesses, just like there are all different types of teachers, and everybody has different styles. Some are bright and cheery, others are more classic, others are no frills. Think about where you are, what you want your products to look like, and this will help you to come up with that color scheme and help you to design some important parts of your brand. We have your logo, your name, which could be your header eventually, your watermark, and also when you're thinking about your covers and your thumbnails, this is where your brand is going to show through. Your brand is what tells people that it's yours. So when you go into the search and you search for those, let's say pre-K centers activities, and so many come up in the search, right away, your target buyer who's already purchased from you will recognize you from your brand. So that's what you want to set up. You want to think about how all of your products are going to look so that right away they're recognizable that they're yours. When designing your brand, I want you to go through these steps. And again, I will mention that I do have the workbook available in my Teachers Pay Teachers shop linked below that will help you to go through each one of these steps and be sure that your brand is set and ready. So the first step is the name, choosing the name. Second step is your logo, designing your circular logo. Next, coming up with an identity. And again, this goes to your covers and your thumbnails, making it yours. Then the quality. So you don't want to skip on this part. You want to make sure that all of your covers are of high quality. And then your strategy. And so what is your strategy? Maybe you're going to start off with a whole product line, which I highly recommend. I highly recommend creating products that relate to one another. So again, your identity and your strategy that is uniquely yours are all part of your brand. Now we're at step 5, product design. It's time to decide what you are going to sell in your shop. So you might be tempted to browse through some other shops that are specific to your niche. It's good to look and see what is out there. The main reason is because what you want to do, the secret to your success, is that you want to fill in the gaps. You want to look and see what is available and think about what isn't available and what you could do. So again, think about the definition of that target buyer. That target buyer is looking for the things that you can offer. So what is it that they need that's not already there? What sets you apart? How is yours different? Don't spend too much time looking at other people's products and how they do it, because it's good to get some inspiration, but again, you don't want to be a copycat and you don't want to just try to do something that's really not you. Next thing you need to do is set a goal for yourself. You want to set a goal for how many products you want to create by a certain date. So let's say, 10 products, including the one freebie, which is your first product. Your very first product needs to be a freebie, and it needs to be of very high quality. So I would suggest working on that freebie the same way you would for a paid product, because it's going to be like your very first marketing tool for your business. It's the introduction of you and your business. So don't skimp on that. So set a goal of 10 products that you want to design and create. You want to think in terms of a product line. So if you have a goal of building your store up to 10 products, you want those products to be related to one another, because if you have someone download your freebie or you sell a product to a target buyer, you want that target buyer to come back to your store and buy something else. And if you have all of these different types of products, then that target buyer will love the one that they purchased from you or downloaded from you, but they might look at your shop and look at everything else and see that none of that has anything to do with the reason why they purchased the other product from you, and then they won't come back, they won't follow you, and they won't purchase from you again. So again, thinking about that niche, getting really narrow and intentional about your products, all with the goal that they are going to be what that target buyer needs. So that's the way to do it. That's the way to start. Start with a product line. You could also, another tip is that you could start with 2 product lines, even though we're only talking about 10 products. That's still 5 and 5. And the reason why I would suggest doing this is because it's almost like doing a test. And as you get bigger and as you grow, you're going to learn a lot about tests and looking at your analytics and things like that. You don't want to do any of that yet, but this type of test would be good. So you could have 2 different types of products. Still keep them related. I would say maybe 2 different types of centers activities, or maybe a centers activity and a circle time activity, and then build there. So you could have 10 products, 5 of them might be circle time activities, 5 of them might be centers activities, and then see which one does better. So if you're selling more of one than the other, then you know that's where you want to concentrate and build from there. So those kinds of things you want to learn from experience, learn from what's happening, also from any feedback that you get from your consumers. The Getting Started Guide workbook that's available in my shop does a really great job of helping you to figure out a strategy to begin filling your shop in a way that makes a lot of sense and sets you up for the most success. All right, so you've made it to step 6 and you are now ready to set up shop. Yes, so a great place to start is Teachers Pay Teachers, to start an official shop. And there are a few different options to get started. So if you want to start off with just a regular TPT membership, maybe you're already thinking of purchasing from some other sellers to kind of just get an idea of how it all works, then you could start there. If you are a little bit more serious about getting started as a seller, you could start off with the basic seller account. And this is where you can sell for free. Of course, the commission is less for you though. So you're going to be giving more money to Teachers Pay Teachers than what you're receiving. But if it's something that you're just still toying with, you're not 100% sure that this is a commitment that you can make for an entire year, or if the $60 yearly premium is already sounding like more than you can afford, then start there. Start with the basic seller account. If you are saying, no, I am ready, I am dedicated, I am going to do this, I'm already setting goals for myself, I have ideas for my products, I came up with a name, I created my email address, I am ready to become a premium seller on Teachers Pay Teachers, then you want to go with that option. Premium seller, it's $59.95 for an entire year. And there you can have a better commission split, 80-20. So you're getting 80% of the sales, and Teachers Pay Teachers takes out 20%. So step number 7 is filling out your profile on your Teachers Pay Teachers shop. So if you went ahead and purchased the premium seller account, now your next step is to create a profile, or if you started as a free basic seller as well. And so the profile is the place where you're going to add your personal quote. And I want you to think of your personal quote as the tagline for your business. So really put a lot of thought into it and have it really tell people who you are and what your business is all about. All successful businesses tell a great story. So think about that. It might not be a bad thing to have a journal and sort of journal out what the story of your business is. And this can really help to inspire some really great product ideas as well. But yes, so, even though we are teachers, we are still telling a story of the way we teach, how we teach, what excites us, what motivates us, and how that makes the whole classroom structure so much better. I know I will speak from experience that this business has helped me to become a stronger, more confident teacher. When I first started as a teacher, lesson planning was such a huge undertaking and took so long, and there was a lot of stress and classroom management skills and everything. It just took a long time to all come together. And once I got to the point where my confidence was really growing and I was creating new things and special things just for my classroom, I knew that I needed to share those with other teachers as well. And that is how the story of my business got started. And I continue to tell the story to this day. And so that's what you want to do. You want to start off with a story, a tagline that will tell people, this is me, this is who I am, this is what my business is all about. Step number 8 is creating your very first product, which is a freebie, your first freebie. Your first product is introducing your brand, your business. It's the very first product on your shelf. You want it to be good. You want it to be of high quality. You want to put a lot of thought and effort into it. But at the same time, you don't necessarily want it to be something that you could potentially use as your first paid product. And what I mean is, you don't want to give away everything with the freebie, because then if you gave, for example, an entire week of lesson plans in one freebie, then it would take a while before that prospective buyer comes back to your store to look around. So you want the freebie to be like a marketing tool. You want it to be something that shows off your style, your quality, your high quality resources. It introduces yourself and your brand, and it tells that consumer that they need to come back to your shop for more. So maybe it could be a part of what your first paid product is going to be. That's a great idea. Or even a part of the product line that your first few products are going to be. So you want it to be something that is going to draw them in, bring them back to your shop. With that in mind, make sure that it's something, I would say at least maybe one lesson, and then they might want to get the next lesson. Have something that could go along with it. About your target buyer and what they need, what they want. If you're struggling to come up with your first idea for your first freebie, go back to that. Again, the workbook is really good. It guides you, it takes you step by step all the way through so that you'll be successful right away. So going back to that page about the target buyer and what they need and what they want, that can help you to design this very first product that you're putting up on your shelves. You want to find a way to connect with your consumers. So there are many different ways to do that. You also want to think about how you're going to price your products, your first paid product. There's a really great pricing guide in the workbook. Step number 9 is to officially upload your first products, your first freebie and your first paid product is what I would suggest. Remember to make sure that they're related to one another. That's very helpful. When you're creating your products, I strongly recommend that you use PowerPoint to create them. In order to put it up onto Teachers Pay Teachers, you will want to convert it into a PDF and upload it as a PDF. If you upload it as a PowerPoint, it's much easier for the buyer to manipulate it, move it around, edit it, change it, and possibly resell it. So you want to be careful. You do want to secure and flatten all of your PDFs because they can also be lifted. So that's just one thing to keep in mind when you first start. You want to come up with an organization strategy for all of your products, because even if you don't have anything yet, soon you'll have a lot, and you want to make sure that it's all organized and you can find it easily on your device wherever you're creating. So if you save it to your desktop, that's one way. I highly recommend using some type of storage drive. I use Microsoft OneDrive and I love it. It comes along with the whole Office 365, and there you can save everything in folders, and there's a lot of storage available. So I just name each of my folders and know exactly where all of the products are located. Before you officially upload your product, make sure that you have gone through and make sure you proofread everything, edit it all. And then you, of course, want to think about your cover and your thumbnails. And so you want to make a very attractive cover that is going to give the message of what it is that you are offering in your product and why people need it. And so that's going to go in the cover. You can also have some thumbnails. Teachers Pay Teachers allows you to have 4 thumbnails, including the cover. You want to take advantage of those. Don't skimp on that step. It's very important. That's like your marketing tool within Teachers Pay Teachers. Also a preview of your product, and this can be in the form of a PDF. So again, that workbook guide that I have available in my shop will go through all of the steps of how to create a very successful cover, as well as thumbnails and the steps that you need to take to create a preview, and when you want to do a really elaborate preview and when you don't need to as much. To save your cover and your thumbnails as PNGs, like photos, and then upload those along with the PDF of your actual product. And so then you'll also want to think about your title and description, and that's your sales page, your sales point, and it's really important. You want to think about keywords and SEO, search engine optimization. You want your products to be optimized in the shop. So that means that you want them to rank on search. If someone is searching for, let's say, pre-K centers activities, you want yours to show up. So you will want to be intentional about how you title your product. Again, you don't want it to be too broad. You want it to be something that people are searching for, and you want to make sure that the name delivers and tells people that's exactly what this is so that they can find it. You want your ideal target buyer to be able to find your products. Again, in the description, you want to do the same thing. You want to think of a lot of relevant keywords or do some research and find those keywords that you can put into especially the very first part of your description. And then you also want to have some contact information in your description, letting people know how they can get in touch with you. You could start with that first free Gmail address that you set up for your business. I also want to talk about templates. And so this is something that's going to help to save you loads of time. You could probably already imagine, if you've already created your first product, that it takes a long time. I do promise you that the more you do it, the faster you do get, but it's still really important to have strategies in place that are going to help you to work more efficiently and faster. Remember, not harder, but smarter. So you want to work smarter. And so you can have templates that you can apply to multiple products. And when I say templates, I mean the cover, the thumbnails, the preview, the description, the table of contents, the instructions. You're going to need to have a terms of use page, a credits page. All of these things are all part of the finished product. Before you can check it off and upload it onto the shop, you need to go through all these steps. In the workbook that I have available in my shop, there is a checklist that goes through all of these steps and outlines each and every step and how important it is. And it also includes templates that you can use, already made, tried and true templates that you can just apply and start using, and it will help you to save so much time and go farther faster. Step number 10 is marketing. And you might already be thinking about this important step, but I do like to say, to take everything step at a time. Make sure you're really comfortable and proficient with the most important steps, which are creating your products, creating the covers for your products, writing your descriptions and your titles, and uploading onto the platform. Make sure you become really familiar with the Teachers Pay Teachers platform first before you branch out onto another platform. You will eventually need to do that, but you want to start small. You want to start and be very proficient at one thing before you move on to the next. Otherwise, you'll end up overwhelming yourself and get discouraged. So become really familiar with Teachers Pay Teachers and build up your shop. Have a minimum of 10 to 20 products before you branch out somewhere else and let people know. So once you have that 10 to 20 products in your store, then you're going to want to come onto another platform to let people know all about your shop. So let's say, well, you could start with Pinterest. That is what I would recommend. Pinterest would be a great place to start. Another tool that I highly recommend for you to use when it comes to marketing would be Canva. Some people do still create their marketing within PowerPoint, which is also fine. Canva is a little bit quicker. It takes some time to get used to, so you might want to start becoming familiar with that and seeing how you can create your covers and pins and other marketing features within Canva. Then you might want to take those pins and start putting them onto Pinterest. Just be very patient with Pinterest. The algorithm is slow. It takes a while for your brand to circulate and really build. So it just takes patience that you just need to wait and keep going. And so the more you pour into your business, the more you'll see come out of it. It just takes time and patience. Social media platforms and starting a blog are also other great ways to get your business out there. Starting a blog is something that I did early on, and I made a huge mistake with that. I tried to do everything on my own. I tried to do it all for free and on my own, and I ended up finding a really wonderful blog designer who helped to create my blog that I just love now. So if that's something that you want to do, you want to start a blog, there are ways that you could start it with either Blogger or WordPress for free, or you could consider finding a designer that can help you to create a really professional looking blog that will take you far. It's not something you have to do right away, but it definitely is great to have content out there that's searchable that will help drive traffic to your Teachers Pay Teachers shop. Another way to do it would also be, like I said, on social media, such as Facebook, Instagram. These are all great platforms that a lot of TPT sellers use to promote their products and their shop. Just remember, day by day, one step at a time, keep going. A successful business does not happen magically. It takes a lot of time and a lot of work, and it is all worth it. So thank you so much for watching this video. If you found value in this video and made it all the way to the end, consider subscribing to the channel. There will be more content coming out with more steps and strategies and tips on how to start a successful teacher business now in 2022. Have an amazing new year. Hope to see you in the next video.